Well, hello there, my friend. My name's Jonathan Doyle. I am pleased you are here. Thank you so much for coming along. Hit the subscribe button for me here. Hit that notification bell. It makes a huge difference on our journey together. I got some good stuff for you today. Just before I start, I want you to hit the links here. You can book me for private coaching. You can book me for conference events, speaking, training of your staff. It is all there, so go and check out those links. You ready to jump into today's episode? Let's do it. Today I'm going to address another email that came through from a listener. So recently I asked people to let me know their key questions, things I can help with, and I'm going to paraphrase their email, but basically they're facing a really significant relationship breakdown involving children. And the other partner involved, the father, is being pretty difficult. And the lady that emailed me is really struggling with how to get the best for her kids, how to deal with this difficult former partner. It's a really complex issue with a lot of moving parts. So what I'm going to suggest here today, I'm going to give you my suggestion, and I'm going to encourage you to apply the suggestion to any area of your life where you want to see some change and growth, because what I'm going to suggest is kind of the same for everybody. So as this person goes through this really difficult personal experience, right? There is grief, there is loss, there's complexity, there's some suffering, there's uncertainty. What's going to happen to the kids? How's it going to affect them? What does it mean for the future? I want to give you 3 words that can be really powerful, and you're ready? Here they are. Number 1, control. 2, the 3, controllables. Control the controllables. When life gets really complex and you're dealing with circumstances that involve the actions of other people, the fastest way to frustration and overwhelm and despair and hopelessness is to try and control all the moving parts. There's a certain peace that comes from a certain kind of acceptance, to go, I know what I want for these other people, but I can't force them to take it on. I can't make them do what I want them to do. And as hard as that is, there is a peace that comes in that moment of acceptance where we just go, I just got to do the best I can. And we do that by controlling the controllables. What does that mean? I would say to this person, here's what you can control. You can control you. You can control your energy levels, your health and well-being, your spiritual core, your emotional, psychological strength. You can control the joy, the love, the contribution that you bring. Sounds easier to say, right? But I genuinely believe this. I genuinely believe that when life gets crazy like this, we've got to narrow the focus into, okay, how do I show up the best I can possibly show up? How do I look past all these limiting factors? How do I look past other people's choices to what I can do? Kind of related example, when COVID hit and all the crazy restrictions hit, my career came to a screaming halt. All my overseas travel ended, all our work in the education space ended, we're trapped in the house, we're homeschooling, blah, blah, blah. So I went from flying around the world at the pointy end of the plane, speaking in front of tens of thousands of people, to walking around the house in my tracksuit pants, wondering how long it would be till I could get outside. And I gotta be honest, there were times of frustration, like many of you, anger, blame, and I got to a point where I'm like, I'm not going to give them this power over me. I am going to make the best of this. I am going to make the best of me. I'm going to keep contributing and growing through this. So I learned to control the controllables. It was actually the lockdown that led me into running ultra marathons, because I just kept focusing on the things that I could actually do. So I say again to this person, I'm not saying accept abuse, intolerable behavior. I'm not saying that. That needs to be called out, challenged in an assertive, appropriate manner. But all the stuff that you can't control, we move to acceptance. And there's a question here of trust. We have to trust. We can't see the future. We can't know the future. We can't know how all the pain and struggle and issues are going to turn out in the future. We can't know that. And we've got to be really careful of playing the game where we think we can. That we know exactly what's going to happen to our kids. We know exactly that things are going to go like this. And this is going to be terrible. You don't know. And you don't even get guaranteed tomorrow. This is such a kind of a platitude. People say, well, you don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow. But it's so true. We don't get promised tomorrow. How many people, through terrible accidents or unexpected misfortune, their life just ended and they had no expectation of that? All we get is today. All you get is today. All I get is today. And I've been learning more and more to take action in today, to do things now, to be the best I can today, because tomorrow isn't guaranteed. So, love to this particular lady, love your kids the best you can. Love yourself the best you possibly can, because a strong you will be a strong mother for these kids. And you collapsing into despair or blame or anger or rage or frustration is not going to serve them. This is a tough episode. What will serve them is you really stepping up. What will serve them is you becoming the absolute best version of yourself you can possibly become. So they look back in 20 years and say, gosh, I remember when it all went sideways, but I'll tell you a story. My mother stepped up at that point. My mother went to another level, and the success in my life and the strength in my life in many ways comes from that season when she stepped into her destiny and she became the woman she was meant to become. What story do you want to live in? Seriously, as I speak this out, I'm like, what is a more compelling story? Oh, my ex does this, my ex does that, I'm worried about my kids, I don't know if I can do... Sure, maybe that is all true, but it is not a very empowering story to live in. You get to choose the story. Remember the three things that control everything: state, story, strategy. What state are you in physically? Where is your energy? Where is your fitness, health, and well-being? State. What is the story? Is the story you are in right now a story of loss, failure, collapse, problems, a negative future? Or is it a story of transformation and overcoming? Is it a story of stepping up into a crucial space at a crucial time? And what's your strategy? Surround yourself with great people. Become fitter and healthier than you've ever become. Prioritize more and more time with your kids to support them through this season. You can work a strategy, but get your state and your story straight first. All right. All of us can apply this idea. What's the core idea here? In your life, regardless of what you are facing, control the controllables and trust God, the cosmos, life for the rest. Learn trust, learn acceptance, but sure as hell, friend, do all the parts that you can do. All right, that's a big message today. You want help with this? Hit the coaching link, book a private coaching session wherever you're stuck in life, and I'm going to help you move forward. And then go and check out the speaking link. Book me to speak at your event. We can make this happen. All right, God bless everybody. My name's Jonathan Doyle. This has been the Daily Message. You and I are going to talk again tomorrow.